SenseCare is our product for mental health, with data trained from clinical, counseling, and psychological fields. It measures facial expressions, speech, gestures to help healthcare professionals treat mental health conditions such as depression, anxiety, stress, and cognitive decline. SenseCare can help someone suffering from depression by giving daily updates on their moods. It can be connected to a health or automated talk therapy to prompt positive behavioral cues for self-healing remedies. We identify non-motor stage 1 and stage 2 symptoms, psychosis, sleep problems, and hallucinations. The underlying purpose is to detect early signs for medical conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Intervention care includes combinations of lifestyle and disease-modifying mental or behavioral therapy, using everyday devices like smartphone or laptop. Other applications of SenseCare are remote patient monitoring and predicting the health state of patients. For remote patient monitoring, SenseCare can be used in pain detection to monitor progress for stroke, acute pain, and incisive care recoveries, and to predict potential alarming situations. If our algorithm detects that a patient is feeling extreme pain or may be suicidal, it will alarm the caregiver for fast intervention. Results show that SenseCare can assess accurately up to 85% the state of mind of the elderly. With just 15 to 20 minutes of the assessment, the social worker is able to tell what protocol to implement, whether to send the elderly person to paracounselor, counselor, clinical, or specialist for care planning. The time taken to detect mental health issues is reduced from 1 hour to 15 minutes, and social workers' experience requirement is reduced from 3 to 5 years to just 3 weeks. SenseCrowd is our product for public security, with data trained from cross-cultural, developmental, social, and forensic psychology fields. It analyzes crowd behavior using semantic observation. Emotion data analytics supports pattern recognition and anomaly identification, which can help security officers identify the suspect in a crime, direct hotspots policing, and focus deterrence to help in reducing crime rate. SenseCrowd can be integrated with various CCTV surveillance systems to improve the response times to crimes, identify possible scenarios for risk management and mitigation. Our AI can monitor crowd emotions to detect the crowd's emotional temperature and identify the coalescence of aggressive groups or hotspots and likelihood of abnormal behavior. It can help the security officer in identifying suspicious person. Upon detecting a negative mood, security officers are warned to be ready to intervene quickly in case of a potential threat. Other applications of SenseCrowd are events experience survey and smart cities. Our AI can measure true reactions of attendees at an event. As many people tend to be too polite to share their true inner feelings, our AI can capture even subtle expressions. It can generate real-time mood maps that allow event planners to identify which areas, booths, sessions have the most engaged audience, or which areas are likely to have problematic situations. In smart cities, our AI can measure crowd sentiment and behavior patterns with existing CCTV, sensors, and IoTs in public spaces and events to identify potentially threatening or aggressive behavior, or facilitate traffic movement. It can also measure facial expressions and eye tracking of passerbys to evaluate effectiveness of interactive digital out-of-home ads. SenseLearn is our product for education, with data trained from behavioral, educational, and human factors psychology fields. Our AI tracks student eye movements, facial expressions, vocal tones, and vocal patterns to measure concentration at different moments during a class. It reveals when students are bored, happy, anxious, interested, angry, or surprised. It measures reactions such as hesitation, focus, and stress. The aggregated information sheds light on the student's response and can help teachers to improve the quality of teaching, content, or engagement method. It can be used in individual or group settings. SenseLearn can help teachers detect learning disabilities. Emotions like sadness and fear can help identify students experiencing learning difficulties or who are significantly falling behind. Early intervention may help a student overcome personal difficulties. Teachers can work with parents to help the child deal with emotional and social issues that affect learning. Our AI can also be used to monitor learning progress. The emotions data can be combined with other data such as class participation to improve the accuracy of evaluations of student performance. Other applications of SenseLearn include HR interviews and advertising research. For HR interviews, analysis of the candidate's emotional reactions while answering questions enables an assessment of personal traits independently of any unconscious bias. Our analytics can categorize potential candidates according to specific quadrants concerning emotional aptitude. In advertising research, our AI studies emotions related to attention, engagement, valence, and joy to quantitatively determine if a particular advertising copy causes high levels of ad liking. An ad's effectiveness is determined by the consumer's unconscious emotional responses. Ads that achieve high levels of attention and engagement are effective as emotions, are highly correlated with memory and purchase intent. SenseSafe is our product for safe driving. The data trained from cognitive, experimental, and social psychology fields. It measures facial expressions and their intensity and is sensitive to split-second changes in subtle expressions. Voice analytics and gestures improve the accuracy, especially in detecting aggression or extreme anxiety. The purpose is to make sure the driver is paying attention to the road by monitoring psychological parameters such as eye closure, distraction, and drowsiness when driving. Our AI senses and warns against emotions such as fatigue, anxiety, aggression, road rage. It can also be integrated into devices or biomarkers which measure physiological data, such as heart rate, respiratory rate, temperature changes, to more accurately identify sudden changes in medical conditions which impact the ability of the driver to drive safely. Other applications of SenseSafe are in-cabin sensing and in-cabin advertising. Our AI senses the motions of the driver, passengers, and cabin and adjusts naturally for a more enjoyable ride experience. For instance, it can tune on more energizing music upon sensing frequent yawning or signs of eye fatigue during long trips. It can play happy songs when sensing passengers are feeling down. It can adjust ambient lighting and temperature according to the passenger's mood, and passengers can carry on a mood-reactive conversation with Siri. For in-cabin advertising, SenseSafe can measure responses to the content of entertainment, advertising, and campaigns, which are continuously tested inside the vehicle. In public transport, SenseSafe can measure the engagement of computers with interactive displays that both push information and gather data on customer preferences and satisfaction.